Let me tell you why you should not name the BBC presenter at the centre of the allegations made in the Sun newspaper. It's the same reasons why to date the Sun newspaper and the BBC themselves and me have not named the BBC presenter, even though many now know who the unnamed presenter is. There is a self-censorship going on because you and I could be subject to serious legal action in one of two ways. The first is the law of defamation, which aims to protect a person's reputation from defamatory comments, which, if done in a permanent form, is known as libel, e.g. by a newspaper post, or if the defamatory statement is in a transient form, e.g. by speech, is known as slander. So you could be subject to defamation proceedings, that is libel, if 1. You post a statement in permanent form naming the BBC presenter, such as in an online post on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, or in the comment section of a post. 2. An ordinary person would think worse of the BBC presenter as a result of the statement you made. In other words, the BBC presenter can show that your publication caused or is likely to cause serious harm to their reputation, easily done simply by naming him. And 3, you do not have a defence in law, e.g. to argue successfully the allegations are essentially true, which you can't confidently do because you lack knowing the exact evidence of wrongdoing at this stage. Consequently, you could be subject to an injunction stopping you from further comments, having to pay heavy damages to the presenter and liable to pay their huge legal costs. And the second way you could get into legal trouble if you name the BBC presenter is the UK law recognises everyone has a reasonable expectation of privacy. And by naming the presenter at this stage, it would be argued that you are misusing private information. Specifically, with reports the police are assessing information on the presenter allegations, the landmark ruling in 2022 ZXC versus Bloomsburg, the Supreme Court confirmed that an individual usually has a reasonable expectation of privacy in the fact that they are the subject of criminal investigations up until the point that they are charged with an offence. And we don't know whether the BBC presenter will ever be charged with an offence. In essence, the unnamed BBC presenter has a general right to privacy during the police investigation stage, supported by Article 8 rights of the Human Rights Act, which seems to outweigh, at this stage at least, the various media outlets and news organisations and your freedom of expression right to publish the unnamed BBC presenter's name. And don't forget, the young person also has a general right to privacy. There is one exception where the BBC presenter's name can be given in public against his wishes by an MP in Parliament. Known as parliamentary privilege, this is a right going back to 1689 which protects parliamentarians from being sued on the grounds of defamation and misusing private information. So for now, this is why you should not name the BBC presenter in any way. Feel free to comment, except for naming the BBC presenter. Follow, like and share.